Thank you, everybody. It's great to be here with my colleagues, and thank you so much for the advocates who are here and the people that have been here year after year after year, month after month after month, leading this fight. I can't tell you how grateful I am. You know, just a few days ago, it seems hard to believe, my heart was literally broken by hearing that this bill wasn't going to go forward. And when I think about my state and the ravages of climate change in Colorado, a state where half the water that we need is in the Colorado River today, a state where we had the 3 worst fires in our state's history 2 years ago. Last year we didn't really have a fire for most of the year. We had a lot of smoke that came from California, and there was day after day after day when we couldn't see the mountains, when people couldn't go outside for health reasons. And then we did have a fire on the last day of the year, the day before New Year's Eve, when more than 1,000 families in Boulder County lost their homes on New Year's Eve. And they were smoldering ruins that night, and the next day it actually snowed. Nothing would have happened had it been one day before. And when I called my daughters, who are 22, 21, and 17, and said to them we were going to fail again on climate change, they didn't know what to think. They could scarcely believe that that's what we were going to do. And I thought, this place is even broken beyond the measure that I thought it was broken. And a week later, now we are in a position to pass the most important climate legislation that's ever been passed in the history of our country. We're in the position to be able to have the United States lead all other nations in the world in terms of what we're doing on climate change. I'm not going to go through the provisions because other people have, except to mention a couple of things that haven't been mentioned by other people. The conservation dollars that are in here for farmers and ranchers, the forestry money that is not as much as I would have wanted, but it's billions of dollars that are in here for to preserve our watersheds and our national forests. The money that's here to support local rural communities and rural co-ops in their transition, all of that is good news for the American West, and all of that is good news for climate change legislation. People sometimes said to me in places where I often don't get more than 25 or 30% of the vote, sometimes it's a little less than that, what does climate change legislation look like? Now I have an answer. This is what it looks like. It looks like a bill that's going to reduce your prices. It looks like a bill that's going to be important to transferring our economy in a way that actually makes sense and is rational and is believable to the American people. It gives us the chance to continue to support Europe in the fight against Ukraine. I mean, there is almost nothing in this bill not to like. And finally, after 50 years of trickle-down economics, we're able to summon the courage to raise taxes on some of the wealthiest people in America and some of the largest corporations that are paying 1.2% or 1.4%. I saw the other day that Amazon was paying 6%. It seems to me they should fire their CFO because they're not getting the rate that all these other people are getting. So this is a good bill for the country, and I look forward to passing it this week. With that, let me turn it over this weekend, I meant to say. Turn it over to my friend, an incredible leader on this issue and on so many other issues, Chris Coons from the great state of Delaware.